powers, but realize you set up your own curriculum. You understand? You set up your own curriculum for this life. Everything that happens, you chose at some level. Now, I had a real hard time with that because I was a sexually abused child. And I just could not understand how a child could choose to be sexually abused. And I had a drama, pardon me, and I told everybody who would listen because then they would all go, oh, poor baby, you know. So I had a teacher who got in my face, and he said to me, Edwene, this victim stuff that you're spattering around the world is really a drag. It's boring the tears out of the rest of us. So I went home and I prayed for him. And I finally got it, that he had something to teach me. So I went back and I studied with him for quite some time. And my healing did not happen overnight. It happened over a period of time. It can happen overnight, but I was just probably a little stubborn. But when we got to the end, he said, okay, the bottom line of your healing is this. You've got to create a new story about it. Well, I didn't know what he was talking about. That's what psychologists mean when they talk about reframing something. I couldn't understand what he was talking about. He said, well, let me help you. He said, let's make this your new story. You came onto this planet to be a woman of power, and because you chose that pathway, you also chose to take an initiation in the misuse of power. He says, you know what it feels like when power is abused, and it's dreadful. He said, you know what it feels like when power is misused? He said, it's horrible. You passed that initiation. It is now safe for you to be a woman of power in this world because you know that you would never, ever abuse it or misuse it. And in that process, you've gained that most valuable of all spiritual gifts, the understanding heart. So just take a deep breath now. And if you've had some kind of traumatic event in your life and you've never really fully shared it with another human being, that was the first step for me, to tell the whole story to one person and then get off. I don't have to tell it ever again. And then he listened with, great compassion. And then essentially his message to me was get off it. Yeah, because I chose it, because I wanted to be a woman of power. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't care. It keeps me from slitting my wrist. You get that? There was another time where I was raped. Oh, my God. It took me a while, but I got to the point where I really did forgive the man. I know that coming from his background and his experience, he did the best he knew how to do. And I can talk about it without emotion. I can forgive him. I don't believe in forgiving and forgetting because I want to remember what I did to get myself in that position. I don't want to ever do that again. And even though that I know I've completely forgiven him, I'm not going to have lunch with him. Do you understand? Now, if he came to me and asked for forgiveness, that would be a different story, because I have compassion and people do grow and change. But right now, I do not hang out with people who do not know how to behave.